Alright, so it's dyno day today, and just got a few things to check on the tune. Made a few changes over the past day and done a few runs and had some problems getting to redline. So fixed those problems this morning. Turns out the SSV and VDI were not opening because it was under boost and no vacuum, so that makes sense. So now I'm running rich in the mid and lean up top. So I made a few changes to the VE table, changed the SSV to open at 2200 or 2500 and the VDI to open at 3000 RPM. So we're going to test this and see how we go. Alright, we're recording the screen as well. Written those changes. Wait for the O2 sensor to warm up. Make sure I didn't fuck anything up in the VE. Which actually looks like it's pretty good. Start looking. Alright, let's give it another try. Tell you what, the idle and the adaptronic selection is fucking a pain in the ass to sort out. Are you on an idle at 14.7? Be prepared for hell. Because it is not easy to do. A lot of balancing. So you can get it to idle at like 13.5, 13.8 pretty easily. Because rotaries love to idle that rich. But yeah, so at 14.7, no. And the way that Mazda does it is apparently they idle off the trailing spark plugs. So yeah, you can't do that in an adaptronic, obviously. A little bit rich at the top now. If I can change into third without it grinding, that'd be nice. That gear's a little bit temperamental in this gearbox. It's looking pretty damn good. A little bit lean as I stood on it, but everything else is a little bit rich. Still a little bit lean at the top end. It's not real dark orange, but it's orange enough for me to go, yep, that needs more fuel. Fucking hell. here, add some more fuel, and then come back down this road. Hopefully the speed doesn't show up on the camera, because otherwise I'm going to have to blur it out. Bus zone where buses like to come and we'll just make this change, get a little bit more fuel in a couple of spots, do 4% there, 1.5% there, 10%, now I'm not going to worry about that was probably tipping, 1%, 5%, 5%, 6%, 6%, and 2.5%. You can see what I mean by here. The AFR target is not correct. You need to make sure that you have the correct target, because that is not 12 there. That should be 11. Interesting. So, let's stop logging, start logging again. Try it again. Can't exactly do, I noticed like last night I was tuning and yeah, second gear is starting to make the arse end kick out at about 70 k's an hour. So I don't exactly want to be driving around these streets trying to push second gear to redline. At least I've got an 80 km an hour speed limit up here, so I can get to 80 by redlining second without breaking too many laws, apart from rapid acceleration law. That's a thing. Can't accelerate too quickly or you'll be considered hooning. So that was a rev limiter. A little bit of lean spot up top. What we got? Fucking, yeah, still lean. So that one is a little bit of a red spot, 8,000 RPM, but that's where limiter kicks in, so yeah, I need to definitely add some more fuel there. But it's not as bad as what it was before. I'm not going to change it this time. I'm going to go back to the computer and look at it. I've been changing it on the fly, and when I get back to the computer I'm like, what did I change? Shit, this is a log, but where did I change it? So yeah, I'm going to leave it as is, go back to the computer, check it out, see what's going on. Alright, let's have a look at this log inside and add some more fuel at the top, and then I think we'll be ready to go for the dyno. At least I'll be able to redline it and get a proper power figure, but maybe have to pull a little bit of fuel out in some spots. There's a lot of blue. Alright, let's go inside and have a look. Alright, so we've done a few more pulls. Let's just have a look at this log and look at Eugene, if I can find Eugene. Where the hell did Eugene go? There it is. So we're going to redline now, so max RPM is 8,000 and went to 8,770. Now I've had to make a lot of changes. So let's have a look at some of this. So that's the VE we're working now. Second screen. As soon as it goes over to it, it just snaps. So that's the VE we're working with now. So I still have to have this little hump just here because it leans out hard right there and then goes rich. So yeah, I don't know. It works. I'll leave it. And the VE I've dropped down a bit and raised a bit and whatever. So yeah, VE tune wise, so this is a log, so this is the second gear pull. AFR looks amazing, maybe a little bit rich, but 11.3, 11.6, it leaned out a little bit towards the end to get to 12. And then third gear pull, same thing, 11, 11.5, 11.6. So that's beautiful, and it pulls hard all the way through to redline. So you can tell this is redline here, and I let off at 7,800, and it was still holding 7 psi, and it was still pulling hard. So I'm really happy with that. So what I've had to do is in outputs and output control, no, not output control, auxiliary outputs, yeah. VDI, I've set to 2700 to 3000, so it opens before boost gets too bad or too high, and then there's no vacuum in play. And then SSV secondary, this one confused me for a bit. So it uses channel output 9 and 10, so both of them have to match before it actually opens the SSV. So I was like, okay, well, which one is channel 9 and channel 10? And I thought, well, this is channel 9, but no, that's auxiliary 9. Channel 9 is actually the channel in here, not the name of it. So you have a look at this one's channel 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's an RPM based channel. So that's RPM 2700 to 3000. So same deal for this to that. So that's for the SSV opening time, but it also needs to match up with output 10, which is green LED. Don't ask me what the fuck, or red LED. I have no idea what the fuck it is, but anyway, it's pretty much means that if your throttle is below 70%, then it's not going to work. If your throttle is above 75%, then it's going to work. So that's when the red LED turns on, and so above 75% red LED is on, below 75% red LED is off, which also means SSV is not open before 2700 RPM and before 70% throttle. Both of these have to match before SSV opens. So that's fine because wide open throttle, and SSV before boost starts. Perfect. Now, when I was going through and doing the live log on this, I had the same problem as what Megalog had, and I couldn't use a little green text up here that says this is how far you're out, and the blue, orange, yellow, red fucking indicator on this. So I had to actually manually look at the figures and go, right, I was at say 70,000 RPM at 9 psi, I was getting 11.09, and the AFR target according to this was 12, which is not right. So I had to work out the difference between 12 and 11, 11.09, and then take off that much. And as soon as I started doing that, the tune started looking a lot better. So this is what we're at now, and the only thing I'll do for this is just interpolate that across, smooth it all out, and yeah, I'm happy with that. This low boost works good as well, so I had problems with high boost working and low boost not, and then high boost was working, and so high boost was working, low boost wasn't, and then low boost was working and high boost wasn't, because when you go low boost, obviously your boost builds up and then sort of sits around here and then can go up and then down a little bit. When you go high boost, it sort of just skyrockets and then comes down and goes this way. So I wasn't tuning this part here properly, and I was interpolating these cells, and that was causing problems. So I stopped doing that, and that's why I've got a little bit of a ridge here and everything like that. So now low boost comes up and goes across, and high boost comes straight up and then comes across. And yeah, there was a little bit of a weird spot just here, so I had to pull a little bit out there because it ran too rich. But we'll see what it does on the dyno now, leaving in about 20 minutes to head out to there. So we'll see if I still have an engine when we get back, but hopefully, and obviously I'll be logging this as well so I can get some good fourth gear wide open throttle pulls on the dyno and get a decent log for that, because that'll be really good to see. So we'll be back soon. Getting all strapped up, ready to go. So I'm moving back a little bit further.
What's the pole between?
Yeah. Alrighty, so I just got back from the dyno and we're having a look at the log about what was going on. So the car went pretty damn well. I'm actually surprised. I was thinking about 250 and yeah, it was right. So low boost, which is 5.5, 6 psi, 5.5, yeah, spikes 7, goes down to about 5. Yeah, so say about 5. Made 212 horsepower. Did that twice and made the same. Then went into high boost, and that was peak of 10.5, but it started to drop off quite quickly. So definitely got a boost controller problem. You can see how squiggly the line is. So max power was made at 5500 RPM, which was 9.5 psi. And then straight after 5500 we start dropping boost down, so it dropped to 7 and then pretty much stayed around 7 to 6 psi and then spiked for some reason there and then dropped and then spiked and then dropped and then spiked and then dropped and then spiked and dropped and whatever. Ended up finishing at about 6 psi, 6.5, and then yeah, as he let off throttle it started to drop again and went down to 5. So got a weird boost control problem going on there, so I need to look at that. But yeah, that made 264 horsepower, and that was at 5500 RPM. So I think if we were able to get this boost pressure stable and stay at 9 the entire way through, probably would have seen closer to 270, maybe 275. But yeah, first time the car's been under that much stress, so I've never seen this happen before. So I need to look at that. But machine is working well. Its AFR stayed at a little bit rich to begin with, so it was 10.4, went to 11.3, 10.7, 10.6, 10.8, 10.9, 11.2, 11.4, 11.2, 11.4, 11.1, 11.3, 11.4, 11.6, 11.1, 11.5, 11.7. So yeah, anyway. So could clean up a little bit of that, get rid of those 10s and get them up to the 11s, and maybe pick up a little bit of more power there as well. So being max power was 5500 RPM, that was at 11.1 AFR, and then it started to drop off. No, yeah, 10, 11, but it stayed there pretty consistently. So ended up using 98% of the primary injectors, which are 480cc yellows, and 59.5% of the 1650cc secondary. So that's like 3,500 cc's of fuel. That's quite a lot of fuel. So obviously stock engine, completely stock keg, and I was able to do 264 horsepower. So it was like 264 point, hang on, let me have a look. 264.2, so not quite 265, but anyway, yeah, I'm very happy with that. So I reckon with some porting done, and the boost controller sorted, we're probably going to be much closer to the 315 mark, and then yeah, obviously E85 or E30, E40 fuel, something like that. Then we can start cranking up the boost a little bit higher. But yeah, so we're seeing roughly about a 40 horsepower gain between 6 psi to 9 psi. So that's pretty good. But anyway, so we're going to keep going with, actually let's have a look at this. Get over there. So you can see, yeah, it's the pull just there. Say AFR's on the first one and AFR's on the second one, so I did richen it up a little bit in here because it was running a little bit leaner than I'd like it to. And then the third pull. So by the third pull, intake air temperature was like 40 degrees because we didn't have the fan on. We just went there, smashed on the dyno and just smashed it out. So yeah, definitely didn't help things, but at the same time we weren't looking for an absolute max horsepower reading. We're looking for a baseline before I pull the engine out and use the built one. So I'm very happy with that. You know, maybe I better lean it out a little bit down here, and yeah, a little bit just there while we leave it here. But yeah, happy with that. All right, so dyno is finally done. I am pretty damn happy with 262 or 264. Sorry. I thought I was thinking more like 250. Had other people telling me maybe closer to 300, but yeah, I'm quite happy with 260. And being that everything's stock, like the ports are stock, the intake stock, the exhaust ports are stock. The exhaust is literally just a full $400 X-Force cap back, and everything that I've done. So with the boost controller being fixed, and probably plumbing in the external wastegate to force, because external wastegate has one port for boost reference to open the port, and then the other port is to slam it shut. And because I don't have that top one plumbed in, I'm assuming that as you get higher in the rev range, the wastegate's getting forced open easier because back pressure and all. So plumbing in that top one to force it down is probably going to help a fair bit. But yeah, we'll see. I haven't needed it until now, and that's the first time it's been wide open throttle pulled through fourth gear. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, with the ports done on the new engine, and pretty much just go straight into the dyno after that's been running. I reckon we're probably going to be closer to 320. And yeah, pretty much everything's going to be exactly the same. It's just going to be RX8 apex seals for higher boost tolerance, and larger exhaust and intake ports. I'm not going to bridge port it because yeah, I don't have to deal with that shit. So yeah, hopefully it lasts out until the engine's done, but I almost finished it. There'll be a video coming in the next couple of weeks for that. We've got all the doweling done. I had to make 5 studs myself out of 4140. So that was a learning curve. I had to learn how to thread on a lathe. And yeah, it's now just need to do the porting and the RX7 apex seal slots. But that video will come soon. I might even do it in 2, maybe 3 parts, because it is a very long video going from stacking the engine, you know, reaming it out, test fitting the bolts, readjusting the reaming, centering each hole, making the bolts, threading them, and then doing the porting and the apex seal slots. It's a lot of work. So we'll do that video. I might do another one in a couple of days for the studs and the dowels, because that was a fucking pain in the ass. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one.